you feel the weight of women's boxing on your shoulders? Like, do you like, is that a burden? Like, do you feel that? Because I know, like, that's important to you. Like, that's really important to you.
Once again, I speak about the mental part of it. Like, sometimes I think about it and I just be like, I should not have to do all this, you know?
Like, do you feel like other women are helping?
Certain women are helping. I think that any woman who tries to bad talk me is not doing the sport any kind of favors. You know, I feel like anybody who's not saying, like, you know, what she's doing is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Anybody who's not like, and I'm not saying you got to agree with everything that I say, you know, but for you to be just like a plain ass hater, you know, that's not helping. And I always tell all the women, you know, I don't be just talking shit, but I'm not finna get in the ring with somebody who don't nobody know. You know, like Marie-Eve Dicaire is 17-0 from Canada, and her country tunes in to watch her fight.
Yeah. So
it's like when people talk about me and Miller fighting, it's like, well, shit. Can she build her following up some more? Can she fight another world champion? I mean, can she fight a top 2-3 fighter? Fight somebody who I beat? You know what I mean? Like, just because she barked my name, I'm supposed to be like, yeah, like we already sent her a contract before that she turned down. So it's like, now you barking, you telling everybody I'm scared of you, you telling everybody you knocked me out, you already doing all this blah, 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 blah. And it's like, but what are you doing for the sport of women's boxing except trying to promote yourself? It's like, you need to build up your fan base and be more active and have better fights against better opponents before you start calling out the top dogs. Thinking you're just going to get an opportunity and thinking you're going to get paid like I'm getting paid when you don't even have, not even half of the fans and backing that I have. Like, you gotta bring something else to the table except for a smart ass mouth.
Yeah. I mean, do you feel like there's enough women being vocal about it? Like, I know, I mean, obviously you're vocal about it. Heather Hardy, I know is very vocal about it. I think Amanda Serrano is very vocal about, look, we need to get equal pay and stuff like that. Do you feel like, as a whole, you women are united in that stance, or do you feel like more women need to jump on the train?
I just feel like all women need to start supporting each other. And Amanda Serrano is very vocal, and Heather Hardy. Those are fighters who need to be vocal, though. And we need to also have Katie Taylor step in and speak up. And, you know, Cecilia or Jessica McCaskill, like, they feel like because they're making a little bit of money, it's like, oh, we're making money, you know, fuck what everybody else is making. And it's like, we can't be like that if we're going to uplift the whole sport. We got to be like, look, even what they're making isn't a lot of money. Like, nobody ever talks about what Katie Taylor purse is. I want to know.
That's true.
I want to know.
Yeah.
Like, nobody, okay, Cecilia said she turned down a deal from fighting me up on Showtime, and we supposed to get $1 million a piece of that. She said that the zone was offering more money. Well, how much more? I want to know the numbers. How much was they offering you?
Yeah.
You know, like, that should be an open conversation. Like, what is it that you're getting paid? You know, so other women can know, like, this is what we should be trying to aim for, or this is what we can work our way up to. But nobody want to talk about their numbers. But over here on the USA side, I'm gonna talk about it, because if Canelo can get 36.5 million, you know what I'm saying, for
can I get 3? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like...
Let me get 3. Let me get 1. like what are we talking about?
Right.
Like, I gotta keep just going back and forth with them about $350K, and then they want to talk about other stuff. It's like, dude, what is really going on? Like, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. And it's not like they don't have the numbers to justify, because, I mean, you've been on Showtime, you've done ratings. I mean, we can literally see the numbers.
None of the guys who Showtime has put on, since they haven't put me on, has got bigger numbers than me, period. They've been at 125,000 buys. I mean, 125,000 views, 150K views. I haven't got 150K nothing since I was on Showtime. Since my first fight, it's always been 200, 275, 375, and I did 430K views with me and Hannah Gabriel. So they can't talk about numbers. That's lies. They talk about, oh, this person get better numbers. That's a lie.
Wow. What was your last fight on Showtime?
Ivana Habazin.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I shouldn't. Well,
and you know what?
I wouldn't have known because I was there.
Let me think. I don't even know the numbers for that fight, but I know the fight against me and Christina Hammer was 379K. I know the fight with me and Hannah Gabriel was 430K. And I don't recall what was the number between me and Ivana Habazin. Maybe because I got paid so much money, I was like, shit, who cares? But I don't remember. I usually know, but I really didn't check. That's crazy. I'm glad you mentioned that. Now I gotta look for now. Like I said, look right now. Hold on.
They're probably better numbers than AB just did.
How many you do?
I think he did two and some change, 260, 270, something like that. 270,000.
What's her name? Ivana Habazin.
I mean, I don't know what numbers the network did, but I know when I covered the fight, I did great numbers. My numbers were great. My numbers were great. I think I had a couple of your videos cracked 1 million views from that fight. So I was very pleased with the views you did for me. Shit. Actually, I probably shouldn't have said that. I might have to break you off a little something from those views.
I need to start doing. Oh. A peak audience of 288,000 watched Shields.
Wow.
10-0 versus Habazin. So when we talk about the numbers, you can't say you're not putting me on because of the numbers. You cannot say that. You cannot say that. That is false. That is false. 288. They last couple main event fights up on Showtime. Terrell Gausha versus Erickson Lubin, 125,000 buys. Somebody else fought 120,000 views. AB, he just did how many numbers you said? 200 what?
I think it was 270, 280, somewhere around there.
Well,
and that's AB.
Mine was 288,000 from my last fight with Show. So it's like, only reason is because I'm a woman. There's no other reason. There's no other reason. It doesn't matter. They can say that the numbers matter, this matter, or you get paid like this. AB just gave. He just got paid $13 million for 280,000 buys.
How much? AB didn't get no 13. Did you say he got paid 13 million? He didn't get no 13 million.
In his interview, he said, last night I had $13 to my name, and now I got 13 million.
He capped. What the young kid said? He capped. He ain't make no 13 million. I mean, he made, don't get me wrong, I'm sure he made good money, but there's no way they paid him $13 million to fight Giovanni Santiago.
I'm gonna look it up.
I guarantee they did not pay him 13. I'm gonna say that fight was probably maybe $1 million. Maybe $1 million.
Okay.
But don't get me wrong, that's $1 million. Like,
okay.
Maybe he meant 1.3. Maybe that's what he meant. 1.3.
Oh, it say Broner was paid $2.5 million fight purse. His last fight.
Wow. Listen, but 2.5 million for what was the views? 288, 280, something like that. 280, 270, 280.
But they don't want to pay me like that for whatever the reason is.
Right, like that's definitely a double standard. If you're bringing in the exact same amount of views, then you should be paid pretty much the exact same.
And like I said, me and Hannah Gabriel did 430K. So what are we even like? I'm mind blown now. So that's the thing. I've always done this whole number game. So when I'm talking to them and they were saying, "Oh, well, you only did this many views," I'm like, "Well, this person only did that many. So what we talking about?" Right. Or I would say, well, maybe I'll do more views if y'all wouldn't promote my fight 4 weeks when you got to promote the men's fight 8. And that's not me being rude. I'm like, that's just facts. That's just facts. Everybody knew Danny Garcia was fighting against Earl Spence 8 weeks out. Yeah. So it's like when you talk about people knew I was fighting against Hannah Gabriel 4 weeks out. Then they started coming and doing videos of us and going and going to her camp and coming to my camp and whatever. But That's 430K views in 4 weeks. I am a star. That's why they get upset. Because they can't tell me that I'm not, because the numbers don't lie. People want to see me. People want to hear me talk shit. People want to see me fight. They want to see me win. They want to see me lose. I'm the Floyd Mayweather of women's boxing.
Talk to him. Talk to. Well, listen. Like I said at the beginning of the interview, I feel like you are women's boxing. You know what I'm saying? Like when somebody's bringing up women's boxing, first name, first image that pops up for me is Claressa Shields. And that's, you know what I'm saying? Like that's, I mean, and that's not even like, oh, well, I'm doing an interview with her or something. I'm being legitimately honest. Like when people talk about women's boxing, it's Claressa Shields.
Look, I've been telling people all the time, like, I like to know stuff. I be asking myself all the time, you know, do you got more fans or do you got, okay, I'm finna go to, I love Katie Taylor. That's my girl. But let me show you something. She got 364,000 followers on Instagram. I'm about to go to my page. 380.
Okay.
380. Now hold on. I'm finna kill the game again. I'm finna go to I love Jamel and Jamal Charlo. Okay? Just finna.
And just a note on Katie Taylor, she has a country behind her.
Like, whole country.
It's different over here in America. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
so 3-something over here is different. Go ahead.
Right. Jamal Charlo got 388K followers. Now I'm gonna go to Jamel. Or which one between that? Jamel Charlo, 361K followers.
Wow.
Right. But it's not even it's so many fighters I can go to that I got more numbers than. But they being paid more than me. And I bring more, and I can bring more audience. Like, I just want Showtime to give me the opportunity to fight pay-per-view on a network, because I have fought on a network so many more times. I have built up such a fan base that if Jamel and Jamal Charlo can do 125,000 buys together, I want to see what I can do by myself.
Yeah.
But I was never given that opportunity because I'm a woman. They're sexist.
Wow.
That's it. They are sexist, and I hope that when they hear me say that it's not like from an angry standpoint. That's factual. That's factual.
Yeah. Wow. Well, you know, I can't remember what post it was. Somebody had put up a post asking, I think it was like something about the biggest villain in boxing or something like that. I can't remember exactly how it was worded, but you commented on it saying me. Like you said, you felt like you're the biggest villain in boxing. Like, do you really feel like that? Like a villain?
Man, they try to put everything against me. Like, I do something good, they try to make it seem like it's bad. I mean, I feel like the way that Showtime put out my story every time I had a fight against a girl, always made it seem like I was the bully. When the girls was the one trying to bully me, I just don't back down from no bullshit like that. Like, I always let it be known, like, I'm grown. I don't take disrespect from nobody, no man, no woman. You know, so with the whole thing with Hammer, you know, she up there calling me fucking transvestite and fucking calling me ugly, talking about that my nose is big, calling me fat. Ivana talking about some, I don't know how to read. Like, and they think I'm supposed to just bow down to these girls and sit down and be quiet. It's like, hell no, you not know where I'm from. So it'd be like, I would want to be cordial and I want to be nice, but sometimes you gotta put a person in a place. And I had to let Hammer know, girl, I'm not scared of you. I will hit you outside of this ring. Like, I will snatch you up. Like, you better stop disrespecting me. I have to let Hammer know that. I'm gonna have to let Ivana Habazine know that. Any girl who I fought, even, you know, Hannah Gabriels, I was super respectful to her, but she still was saying her interest. Oh, Claressa, she would say she gonna knock me out. What I'm supposed to say? I'm gonna dance with you for 10 rounds.
Right.
I'm training to knock to knock you out. I'm not gonna say, oh, it's gonna be a really good fight and hopefully I win. That just ain't me.
Right.
Like, I train so hard to it. When I get in there with a girl, I know I can do this, I can do that. This is how I'm gonna win a fight. I don't go in there you know, doubting myself, like, oh, this is gonna be a tough one. I don't know if I'm gonna win this one. Mm-hmm. No, every camp, every time I spar, I'm working on what I'm gonna do in the fight and how I'm gonna execute my game plan and how I'm gonna win and how I can possibly get the knockout. So it's like they all try to paint out these girls to be all sweet and nice. These goddamn girls was evil and mean.
That's true. Listen, that's true. I mean, I saw everything play out on social media, on Twitter, Instagram. I mean, it was definitely them that were attacking you and talking shit.
And whenever I said something back, people would always take whatever I said and run with it and post it. But they would never say what the other girl said. I don't know if it's because I got darker skin. I don't know what it's because. But
well, it's because I'm telling you, it's because you're the bigger name. You're the bigger. You are women's boxing. So that's the reason why it's like, oh, Claressa Shields says this. Claressa Shields says that. It's like that carries more weight than saying Ivana Habazin. And then I mean, I don't mean to say it like that. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the other women, but again, like I'm someone that sees numbers, you know, like if I'm posting videos, I see the numbers and I can see who's reacting to what. And I could post a video of Ivana talking shit about you and it's on, you know, it's going to do a couple views, but if I post your response, the numbers are gone, like they shoot up. And that's because you command attention. But I think that's what's so great. And that's, you know, people try and discredit you being as vocal as you are. But I think that's what's so great about you is you being vocal. I mean, look, at the end of the day, closed mouths don't get fed. So
if I would have never told Showtime that I let them know after I beat Christina Hammer, who was a 9-year reigning world champion, 24-0, 11 knockouts. I was 8-0. Mm-hmm. She was supposed to be the big, strong girl to go on there and beat me. You know how much of a risk that I took taking that fight?
Huge.
That was a big risk to me. I went in there and made it look easy because that's just what I do. Mm-hmm. I let them know after that fight, I will not fight for less than 100. I will not fight less. I will not fight for less than 300K. Why? Y'all had all access on me. I'm fighting against a world champion, 24-0, 11 knockouts. I'm the underdog. Mm-hmm. And then I'm also coming down in weight, having a fight against her. And then it was like everything was kind of like on her terms. You know what I mean? Like she was the one who got the call to shots. And it was like, what the fuck's going on here? So I let them know. Once I handle business, I bet you I won't get back in the ring for less than 300K. I bet you I don't. And that was just demanding that I did my part. You guys have to do yours. And I always let them know at the beginning. My goal is to have a purse for $1 million. Mm-hmm. $1 million before my career is over. Like I shouldn't have to say before my career is over because I got a long time. If I'm gonna take the big fights and I'm gonna lose the weight and I'm gonna fight on the network and bring my fans and they're gonna bring their fans and keep building women's boxing, respect me and pay me for that. So it was like I would demand my respect. Like, look, I'm sorry, I'm not getting there for less than this. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, like you guys can pick the opponent if it makes you feel better. You ain't even got to tell me who it is. It don't matter. I'm gonna get in there and win. Mm-hmm. But I'm telling you now, I can't keep going in there and doing exactly what I did at like that big risk and not really being able to take care of my family. Like we talk about Tia female numbers about his 6 million coming down to 2.5. Shit, what the hell they think fucking 350K is doing?
Right.
Taxes. Yep. I gotta pay my team.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? First of all, a lot of money gotta be paid back to camp. I got a nutritionist. Mm-hmm. I gotta pay for food every week. I gotta pay for strength and conditioning coaches. Yep. 350K? Shit. I gotta pay coach. Yep. Like, come on, like that 350K go down to what? I don't even.
Yeah.
Go down to what? I wouldn't even say 200. 197?
Right.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
So when we talk about the numbers, I want to get paid what I know I know my work, and I'm hoping that this pay-per-view do very well, so I can get me a nice little check. So I want all my fans to tune in, but I'm gonna do it again, and I'm gonna keep doing it, and I'm gonna keep building it up, because that's just what we have to do. We can't keep waiting around for these networks to give us the opportunity.
So is this basically Claressa Shields from now on is a pay-per-view fighter regardless? Well, I shouldn't say regardless, because if somebody comes and drops the bag on you,
yeah.
I'm sure you won't mind.
Drop that bag, then I'm like, you know what? But I believe that I will always use who I am and use my career to help the whole sport of women's boxing. I'm not just gonna like, yeah, I get a big purse and the network come, oh, that's a blessing. But it's like, still, I'm still gonna use that platform to help with women's inequality, and help with the women's with women's boxing, and help try to get it to the same level. Because what is the same level as men's boxing? If you were to say like, okay, when would you consider the sport of women's boxing compared to men's boxing equal?
Oh, that's a good question.
It's so many things that has to happen.
Yeah, a lot.
So it's not just me getting $1 million purse and it's like, oh yeah, now women's boxing and men's boxing is equal. It's like still not equal, and it's not me getting. Even if I was to be able to make $36.5 million like Canelo for a fight, women's boxing is still not equal. That's me making that money.
Right.
How can you help the whole sport of women's boxing after that? And that's just being vocal and letting the other networks know. The only way women's boxing will ever be on the same playing field is if we fight the same amount of time. Up our 2 minutes to 3 minutes, at least for 2 years. So everybody can start getting in shape. So when we go to 12 3-minute rounds, that's very important.
Yeah. So
they can't quit looking at us like, oh, women are so fragile. No, we're not. We're fighters. I just sparred Coach John today for 10 rounds. And I sparred him 10 rounds the day before yesterday. And then 2 days before that, I sparred Andre Darrell for 8 rounds.
Wow.
So I don't need no kind of protection.
Right.
And there's other women putting in that same kind of work. So it's like women's boxing will be equal to men's boxing when women's boxing is on every card that they have on every network. It don't have to be the main event, co-main TV open the main event. They need to showcase a women's boxing so the world know women's boxing is here. They are getting respected. They are getting paid. We are getting their backstories, and they're building up the sport at the same time that they're building up, boxing. So now we won't even talk about women's boxing and men's boxing. You just say, hey, it's boxing on TV. That's it. But that's when the sport of women's boxing and men's boxing will be equal. And we're a long way from that.
Yeah, no, that's very true.